Nicole is looking for a second date update regarding a guy named James, and we're going to try to help her out. Hi, Nicole. How are you?
Okay, how are you?
Excellent.
Good.
Thanks for asking. So what's the story with James? How did you meet him?
Well, I met him on Tinder, but honestly, I really wish that I would have just stopped dating after Halloween and sat it out until, I don't know, maybe after Valentine's Day.
You said you wish you had taken a break like during cuffing season?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta say, it just kind of all seems a little pointless right now. Because I don't know, I don't think that anyone is really looking for a relationship, and I'm guessing that that's what's going on here with this guy.
Okay.
But I just kind of want to know for sure. Like I said, we met on Tinder, and we met for drinks, and I thought he was really nice. I thought, he was a little shy at first, but so am I, so that didn't bother me. And we were only together for about, an hour or so, but we did have some good conversation. And I thought there was chemistry. We talked about what we were looking for, and we seemed to be on the same page. I like to make it clear that I like to wait until I sleep with a guy. So
You like to
I don't know if,
you like to wait for what until you sleep with a guy?
until, at least a third date. I'm more traditional that way. I like to wait until I get to know the person a little bit.
Oh, gotcha.
Make them work for it, So I don't know if that was the problem. Maybe he was just kind of looking for more of a casual hookup. But, when we parted, I hugged him goodbye, and I told him that I'd love to hear from him. And he did say that he would text me later, but I never heard from him. So I'm hoping that you guys can figure it out.
Well, the fact that you guys were talking about what you're looking for in relationships tells me that, well, I don't know. I mean, it would lead me to believe that he wasn't just looking for a hookup. But yeah, you may be right. Like once it was clear that it wasn't going to happen that night, he sort of moved on. Or did you feel like what you both are looking for are somewhat in common?
It certainly seemed that way from our conversation. He was definitely in agreement with things that I was saying.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. But you're willing to put yourself on the line on the radio for this guy. Like he made that much of an impression on you. Because I can't get a read on you as to whether or not this is something that you're really super passionate about or if you're just going through the motions.
I mean, I guess I'm just kind of, like I said, like a little skeptical just about the whole dating scene right now. So I don't know if my picker is off, as they say. If,
I feel that.
Kind of,
Picker is broken.
Because
Picker is broke.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think second date update is kind of a fun way to check yourself if you're open to it. Mm-hmm. Let's call him, see what he says, and maybe learn something by it, or who knows.
Or and maybe
Exactly.
we get him on here and he sounds like an idiot.
That's happened.
And we're like, okay, maybe there is a picker issue here.
Yeah. I mean, maybe this is like a little bit of an experiment for me, because it isn't that high stakes. So if it's not, if it's not meant to be, then for this guy, then, I think it could just be a learning experience. But
Right.
I just kind of want to do this to kind of gauge, like, where am I right now? Am I totally on or totally off?
I think that's a great way to employ second date update.
Yep.
I like your attitude going into this.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll take the break. When we come back, we'll call James and see what he thought of Nicole and his 1 hour meeting with her. And if there's any chance of these two ever getting together again, as Second Date Update continues with Jeff and Jen at Q102. So Nicole is looking for a relationship, although, this time of year may be tough because you're coming out of cuffing season and a lot of people were locked down and other people just weren't looking to make any commitments. They just wanted to get through the holidays. So the timing may have been off, but she seemed to think there was some chemistry and a lot in common with James when she met him on Tinder and they got together, hung out for about an hour, talking about, things that they're looking for in a relationship. So James at least made it sound like he was looking for a relationship. But if in the event he was just going through the motions and pretending because he was really looking for a hookup and then the hookup didn't happen, maybe that's why he ghosted her. That's what we're going to find out Anything else you want to add, Nicole, before we call James?
I think that's about it. I just kind of want to know what his thoughts were and like his response to me, or what he was thinking, because I like I said, I just think I am kind of really off right now with dating.
Yeah. No, like I
makes
said
sense.
in the last break, I think second date update is kind of a good way to check yourself. I was going to say fun way to check yourself, but I guess it's not fun for everyone involved.
No, it
always. It's fun for me. I love these.
Yeah.
Because you're not dating. That's
Right.
why you love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
You're like, tell me
Yeah.
everything. It's like gossiping with your best girlfriends and boyfriends.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, let's call James.
Hello?
Hi, James.
Hello, who is this?
Hi, James. It's Jeff and Jen at Q102. How are you, man?
With the radio station?
Yep. Rich is here. Jen's here. We got you on speakerphone.
Hello, James.
Cool. What did I win?
You want to go out to dinner? We'll pay for it.
What is the deal?
He's like, what's the catch? What do I have to do?
Come on.
We're just curious what you thought of your 1 hour meetup with Nicole, the girl you met on Tinder. Listen to him. You all right there, bud? Was that your
Yeah,
coffee you just spit out?
It was the drainage.
Yeah, so we talked to her, and she said she met you on Tinder and that you guys had a nice chat. And, you left a decent enough impression on her that she'd like to see you again, but she hasn't heard from you. So she thought it might be a healthy exercise to get in contact with you. We have her on the other line, and we just wanted to help facilitate a little conversation and see if you'd be willing to share your thoughts on Nicole and whether or not you think there's any potential there.
Wow. Well, it was weird. I mean, this is weird, but it was a little weird. We got in this conversation about like what we want in a relationship, and she just started listing off all of these like preconditions in terms of like he has to, does he own a house? What kind of a car does he drive? He has to wear a suit, or at least has to own a suit. I'm not going to a wedding with someone who has a rented tux. All of these things. She asked me how much I had in my 401k.
Wow.
Inappropriate questions, but also I was like, this feels like I'm setting myself up to fail here if I go further into this thing, because there's going to be something like, it's never going to be enough. So I don't know. I got to the end of it, and I said I would text her, but
you weren't just looking for a hookup, because she was wondering if maybe like when it became, because she mentioned that she wouldn't hook up until at least after the third date, and
no, that had nothing to do. I mean, halfway through, I was I wasn't looking to hook up anyway. It wasn't. That was not the disappointment on my end when she said, I need to wait. I totally respect that. I think that's totally decent. It's just weird to start like listing off like a guy's got to have this and a guy's got to have that.
You know what? We just talked about this on the hot list. I can't remember how long ago, but it's called launch dating or something like that.
Well,
And it's basically where you launch yourself. And you're more direct. It's like a big...
Don't mess around. You got to be very clear about your wants and your needs. And that way, if it isn't a good fit, you know right away, and you don't waste anybody's time.
Yeah. And that's what we were talking about. Like there was this trending thing from Tinder that was called launch. I think it was launching yourself. I can't remember, but this is exactly what it is.
Well, let's give Nicole a chance to respond. Nicole, those were some interesting questions you had. I mean, I get wanting a guy who's, not a deadbeat and maybe he's got a job and loves his mom kind of thing, but those were some very specific sort of personal questions.
I I was honestly like just joking around for a lot of that stuff. Like, I mean, with the 401k, but like I wasn't being serious about all of that. I mean, we just got talking about, what we want out of a relationship. I guess part of me is, always wanting to be really super upfront with people because I don't want to waste anybody's time and I don't want them wasting mine. But I mean, I was trying to kind of be funny, just joking like, oh yeah, how much do you have in your 401k? Like I wasn't really asking like
you weren't expecting an answer
about that. No, I wasn't like interviewing. It wasn't like a job interview. I mean, we just kind of got on that train of, talking about like, what do we want out of a relationship? And being like, you better have your own tux for a wedding. I mean, that was like just me kind of trying to joke around because,
right.
There is just that whole conceit of like, oh, women just want all these things and women want all these men to do these things. And it's like, I was kind of playing into that, but this was meant to be a lot more lighthearted than I guess he took it.
Might there have been a little bit of truth in it and you were just kind of testing the wall? Yeah, it's one of those, I'm going to play this off as a joke, but if he has a certain reaction, then I'm going to know.
She was doing this the whole time. She kept saying, I'm joking. And then she'd go on with another one and go, I'm joking. And go on with another one. And
that's
it's
rough,
so
though.
Clear. It's exactly what she's asking.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's unreasonable.
Which is cool.
The 401k question.
But if you're out in the, if you're in the world, if you're out in the dating
field.
world, I'm sure you probably come across, a lot of guys out there who maybe they're deadbeats or they don't have a job or they don't have a car.
Yeah.
They don't have,
Right.
like the guy's never owned a suit in his life.
It's like, come on,
and
right?
if you're looking for someone who's at least done some basic adulting.
Right.
Yes. It happens more often than you realize that, that I've like thought that, this guy seems really great. And then come to like learn, he's like living in a broken down house with like 5 other guys, like he's still in college or something. And it's just
with,
can we,
$5 in his bank account.
Can we start?
I hear you.
It's like, come on, guys. Like, let's take a little bit more care of yourselves.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, really, you think that you're going to be like ready to date somebody and be in a serious relationship with someone?
And you cannot carry the financial burden of that whole relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's like,
a lot.
That's why I kind of am like sort of, it is kind of joking, but it also is, yes, testing the waters.
Yeah.
Just kind of vetting people to be like, hey, are you, really who you say you are? And it's okay to do that, to find, who really I want to be with and see as a partner.
And I do think you have to be playful with somebody to see exactly, because you want
Right.
to be with somebody that you can play with. And so you got to test those
Exactly.
waters too a little bit and see how they react to
Right.
your being playful.
But you really want to know.
Yeah, well, it's both and, it's fishing and it's being playful.
Right.
I still don't even know if I know how much is in Scott's 401k, and we've been together for years. I should probably ask him out direct.
That's funny.
That's insane.
See if he'd tell you.
Yeah. Listen, James, if you're up for it, I don't know if Nicole's explanation makes any difference to you, but we'd be more than happy to send you guys out to dinner. You guys can talk some more, get to know each other a little bit, see if there's anything there, or, if you're totally out, we can just call it a day.
I get what she's saying. I totally get it. It just it rings a bell for me, and I'm a little cautious. But
Oh, wow.
we can
Is that
try it
because you
again,
have a lot of
sure.
money in your 401k or because you don't have a lot of money in your 401k?
I have a job, and I love my mom, and I take care of myself, and I live alone. So, if that
There you go.
answers the top 5 questions.
All right.
It's all that matters.
See, good answer. Look at that. How hard was that?
Let's put him on hold. Maybe you two can go out. First, answer. How much do you have in your 401k?
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
No.
None of your business.
All right. Well, James, we appreciate you taking the call and at least having the conversation with us. Nicole, I hope this was helpful to you. I'm sorry it didn't work out,
Yeah.
but
No, it is. It is helpful. But I think I have to also just take care of myself too. So that's all I mean to be doing.
no doubt.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate you guys coming on Second Date Update. Best of luck to you both.
Bye.
All right, take care.
Yeah.
Bye.
So when I had been dating my ex a bit and it seemed like, things were starting to get serious,
Which one? Number 1 or number 2?
number 2,
Okay.
felt that we needed to have a talk.
You felt you needed to have a talk?
Well, I could tell that she was kind of falling.
Oh, well, and you know that feeling.
And based on things I was picking up about her past,
Uh-huh.
she was used to a certain lifestyle.
Oh,
And
okay.
I just felt that we needed to have a conversation where we managed some expectations.
Wow.
Now, in all honesty, I kind of downplayed things a little bit because
You didn't, were you starting to wonder if she was in it for your money?
no, I didn't think she was in it for my money, but I didn't know what she thought. I think based on what I did,
You
People
made
think
more
we
than you
make a lot
did.
more
they
money
think
than
we
we
make
do.
this ridiculous amount of
Yeah.
money or whatnot. She had been married before, was used to a certain lifestyle. She had money of her own. And I was doing all right, but I just felt like we needed to have a discussion. And it was all good. It was fine. But
She was like, "Oh, I know. It's fine. I'll take care of myself."
exactly.
That's what I would have-
She's like, I
yeah.
got my own money. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, though, there was a guy that I dated that his family they were kind of like, they had way more money than my family ever had. And I never really knew. I didn't really know like the right way to do it, but I felt like we were very open when we were like dating each other way back then. I'm not with this person anymore. But at the time, I remember being like, well, how much is your family worth?
Oh.
Like that. And this person like clapped back at me and was like, well, that's none of your business. I went to the bathroom and cried on the date because I was like, I felt comfortable enough to ask you that.
You were like, I think everything's my business. I don't know if you got the memo, but
But
Yeah.
I was like kind of vulnerable. I felt like you were being vulnerable and you shut it down.
yeah.
Well,
Quick.
see, I've never dated a man with a lot of money. I would like to have that experience. I'm very curious as to what that would be like, Because I don't have a clue. Not a clue. Not even
See,
close.
Jen, and my point exactly about
Yeah.
why you got to put yourself back out there.
Yeah, that's why I got to get out there.
That's what Jeff says.
There's some dating
he says, you know what?
experiences I
You
have
say
not
yes
had.
to dating everybody, and eventually you'll find somebody, and it'll work out great. And then you can maybe find somebody with a minimum salary requirement that
There
you're
you
the
looking for.
MSR,
And if he downplayed it, your divorce lawyers will do a little financial discovery and realize that he was holding out on you and you can take him to the cleaners.
Yeah, I'll find out about those offshore accounts, buddy.
Exactly. What's this paperwork from?
Yeah. Oh, well.
Oh, well.